Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the upcoming transit of planet Saturn on January 17th, 2023 in the Aquarius sign and studying this transit in correlation with the impact on the transiting Rahu and Ketu. Because guys, you will very soon get to know that even from the dictums of Lal Kitab, Rahu and Ketu act as the agents of the planet Saturn. So guys, to begin with, now you must be wondering that how come this entry of Saturn in the Aquarius is going to be influencing the transiting Rahu. So not only that Saturn is going to be transiting in its own Mool Trikona sign, not only the fact that when we talk about the co-rulership of the Aquarius sign, it goes to the both planet Saturn and the planet Rahu. And also next year Saturn is going to be spending a lot of the time within the Aquarius in the Satbhisha nakshatra. The rulership of the Satbhisha goes to the planet Rahu. So because of which next year in one way or another way, both of these planets are going to be working in harmony, in cahoots with each other. So now comes the point that how they are going to be influencing us, or how they are going to be influencing each other, to be precise. So guys, as you know that Saturn has got three additional aspects as well. So the fundamental principle of differentiating the results, like which generally comes when a planet is transiting in a house and when a planet impacts other house with its additional aspect, is very simple. In whichever house a planet is going to be transiting, it deliver the results from that house, but with its additional aspect it holds this power to exert its influence in the matters of that house. Now definitely, even if Saturn is going to be impacting other houses with its aspect, it will do that only through its essence, through its fundamental qualities. Now what are the qualities of Saturn? This will not be an exaggeration to say this thing that the only planet which is all the time judging us is the planet Saturn. So you can look at it in this way, that the third aspect of the planet Saturn always kind of judges our intentions, our desires, and it also kind of encourages or motivates us to put more efforts. Now the seventh aspect of the planet Saturn, somehow it judges us with this way that how we are shouldering our responsibilities, and its 10th aspect judges us in this way that whatsoever power or position we are enjoying in the society, with how much integrity we are fulfilling our duties over there. But now guys, try to understand this thing, like what I have seen in my research, and over here as well a lot of astrologers have different opinion. Like some astrologers say that the third aspect of the planet Saturn is very harsh, and some astrologers say that the third aspect of the planet Saturn is very blessed. But I would say, because in my own chart as well, Saturn from the 8th house is aspecting my 10th house, and what I have seen is that, and in lot of my consulting experience as well, third aspect is not considered as very good, like it is a aspect of restraint. So now guys, just because Saturn is going to be looking at Rahu with its third aspect, so it becomes very important that in whichever axis or in your house these two zodiac signs like Aquarius and Aries is falling, how it is going to be impacting you, you have to be very much in tune with that. And let's say for example, if you're also going through a Mahadasha or Antardasha of either Saturn or Rahu, or you are connected in a profession which is straight away coming in the fields represented by the Saturn or Rahu, then it becomes very important for you that next year when this alignment or this connection is going to get established, that how you will get affected and what all are the precautions and remedies you have to perform. So guys, to begin with, like the way at the beginning of this video I brought to your attention that there is a dictum of Lal Kitab which says that Rahu and Ketu acts as the agents of Saturn. So understand it in this way that whenever Saturn's time period is operating on you, now this could be through Saturn Sadesati, Saturn Dhaya, or in the Saturn Dasha. So it means that you are undergoing life trial of your karmas by the planet Saturn. So if Saturn is sitting there on the seat of a judge, so which all two lawyers are performing their job to present your case to the judge. So Rahu acts as a lawyer who will only count or present all the misdeeds, ill actions which you have performed. Now this is what the irony is. It's the under the influence of Rahu only where people commit wrong acts. But yes, Rahu will play the role that it will remind the judge Saturn that this person who is going through trial, he has done this wrong deed, this evil deed or this bad deed. Do not be lenient while performing or delivering the justice. Now Ketu on the other side reminds the judge or Saturn that what all good deeds you have done as well, what all charities you have performed, so that judge is going to be little bit lenient at the time of delivering the justice. So this is how Rahu and Ketu influences or they act in cahoots with the energies of the planet Saturn. Also guys, just because now you must have understood that Rahu and Ketu act as the agent of the planet Saturn. So you have to also take into consideration that from the transiting Saturn, which all places they are going to be transiting. So if you will start counting the places from the Aquarius, from where Saturn is going to be transiting, Rahu is going to be transiting 3rd place from it, and Ketu is going to be transiting 9th place from it. So one thing is for sure guys, although I want to make this thing very clear, Saturn does not have any power to influence any planet which is placed 9th place from it, because Saturn only has got like 3 additional aspects. But just because going by the dictums of Lal Kitab and in a very esoteric way, I would say that in whichever domain, like in whichever house Libra sign is falling in your chart, and if you are performing your duties very unconditionally, you are a very self-sacrificing person, very much devoted, and you live your life in tune with the spiritual and religious doctrines and principles, so that house where Libra is falling in can still flourish. Because guys, at the end of the day, do not overlook this fact that Saturn after 30 years is going to be entering its Mool Trikona sign, and whatsoever karma you have performed in the past 2.5 years when Saturn was in the Capricorn, once Saturn will enter the Aquarius, you will be in this state to reap the good rewards as well for all the deeds which you have been performing. So we have already understood Ketu from the point of view of the Saturn. But now comes the most important thing, which is studying this 3rd aspect of the Saturn on Rahu. So guys, one thing is for sure, like let's say for example, because 3rd aspect is always very restraining, is highly judgmental. So if your actions are questionable, or let's say for example you are already going through some lawsuit, or if any of the underhanded activities are getting qualified in your case, or any sort of like cheating from the government, or any of these illegal activities, if that is getting qualified in your case and you have remained lucky, like this could be the case because of the muscle you hold, or the power you have, influence you have, money, contacts, connections, whatsoever it is, you could be in deep trouble once Saturn will enter the Aquarius sign and it will start aspecting the Rahu. So if you have remained smart so far, so trust me, once Saturn will enter the Aquarius, it will start giving its 3rd aspect. You have to remain very cautious. You have to improve your execution. This is what Saturn will teach you. Now let's take up the another case. Now if you belong to a field where like you are working in the domain of technology, see, because guys, understand this thing, there are many professions which overlap when we talk about the professions represented by both Rahu and Saturn. So Rahu is a planet of illusion. So all the photographers, all the software, IT professionals somehow are represented by Rahu as well. Rahu also represents like all sort of addictions. So because of which all the pharmaceutical industry, when we talk about the drugs or alcohol, liquor businesses, tobacco industry, that also comes in the purview of the Rahu. Rahu also represents the foreign lands, foreign entities. So all the import export nature of work also comes in the domain of Rahu. So let's say for example, if you have been working in all these domains and your progress, your success has been very slow. So now guys, this third aspect of the Saturn coming to your this Aries sign can actually give you this sort of connections or resourcefulness that you might be able to materialize or do something big or good over there. Because guys, this is how what we say, that is Saturn is responsible for your profession. Saturn is the chief significator of your karma. So Rahu represents Rahu acts as a amplifier because he wants to make things big, and he wants to do that in a shortest span of time which is possible. So whatsoever you are working so far in the domain of the Aries, where right now Rahu is transiting, and you are doing your job with complete integrity, and let's say for example you are lacking that sort of support, because guys, this is what I always say, like when we talk about talented people, so when we talk about talent, we see that from Sun, we see that from Venus, we see that from Jupiter, so many other planets as well. But for you to convert your that talent in a full-fledged business, in a full-fledged with a team of people who are reporting to you, who are responsible for growing your brand, over there Saturn also plays a very important role. That is the only reason it has been seen that all those people who were like operating as a small crusader in a small town, in a small city, the moment their Saturn Dasha began, the moment their Sadesati began, all of their statements, all of their work started influencing masses on a bigger scale, and which became responsible for their success, for the political seat which they got, and they become a national leader. Now guys, the other example of this could be you are a very successful chef, but you're operating on a very small level. You know, you operate from your home, within your family members, and you serve and cater to a very small client base. But the moment your Saturn Dasha began or Saturn Sadesati began, you started making use of technology. All of your promotion and your reviews on your food, they start going viral. You got some sponsorship, some big food brand published or sponsored your brand, and you converted that into a franchisee business. You started operating on a big level. So this is the kind of power which Saturn holds. Whenever we talk about a small scale business going big, that cannot take place unless and until both Rahu and Saturn is not supporting it. So this is the point guys which I'm trying to make over here. The only one thing or one takeaway of this video is that this aspect is only harmful, rather I would say very harmful for you, if there is any sort of unethical, unlawful activities in your operations, in your business is involved. But let's say for example, if you are operating with complete integrity and you are a kind of person with a big vision, all what is lacking is right set of support around you. So this entry of Saturn in the Aquarius sign, which is co-ruled both by the Saturn and Rahu, and its third aspect to the Rahu, can pave path to all these things start working in your favor. This is how we can relate with this aspect of Saturn on the Rahu. So I'm very much sure guys, this video might not be very complete, but because I've already talked a lot on this transit of Saturn, from Dahiya, from Sadesati, from Ashtakavarga points, from transiting over your natal planets. So this is the kind of response which I will receive. I will look into it that I have to do another round of this impact, this third aspect from all the Lagna's perspective or not. But I am very much sure that you must have understood the gist of this aspect of the planet Saturn. All of your intentions, your actions, your desires, how righteous they are, how pious they are, will be judged once Saturn will transit to the Aquarius, and good results will come in a very fast paced way. This is something which I want to say through this video. So guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyawad.